Unfortunately, I got a concussion during my senior night game. Well, it's actually during warm-ups.
You got a concussion during warm-ups of your senior night
Yes.
game.
Yeah.
What happened? Hey, welcome back to the Better Fitness Proof podcast. I'm your host, Matt April, and today we're joined by one of our amazing members, Annie.
Hi.
Hi, Annie. Can you say hello to everyone and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm Annie, and I am a young teacher who teaches locally and lifts weights sometimes.
Yeah, love the advent in there. So, what kind of teach? Where are you as a teacher? Like, what do you do specifically?
Yeah, so currently, I guess you could say my title is I'm a special ed teacher. So I've taught in the elementary school setting, middle school setting, and then most recently I just finished up in the high school setting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, you've bounced around everywhere.
I have.
I don't think I realized that. I
No.
knew you changed jobs, but I didn't know you bounced around so much.
So I started my career in a middle school, and then the beginning of this year I was in elementary school, and then this year, towards the end of this year, I was in high school.
All right, right on. So I like to kick off the show with the biggest win for you in terms of your fitness and your health, your mindset, your emotional well-being, anything and everything. So for you, Annie, what has been one of the biggest wins of recent that you've accomplished for yourself? Maybe with PR Week, with anything. Tell me about your biggest win or biggest wins.
Biggest win. I mean, overall is believing in myself, probably. I've kind of always known that I was on the stronger side because I was always the person in the house that was like, can you take this somewhere? It's like, sure. But I think just proving to myself that I actually am and powering through a harder lift and actually getting it done.
Yeah. Like deadlifting, for example, right? Yeah. You're telling me about that a little bit ago.
I mean, my biggest PR, I'm going to toot my own horn, is 285.
285 for a deadlift?
Yeah.
How many reps?
For 3, but they're really bad. So
3 reps?
Yeah.
Well,
bad form.
We wouldn't allow for it to be terrible.
No, it wasn't terrible, but
bad form in your
in my own
eyes.
Yeah, in my own eyes.
Did it.
So then, fixing my form and focusing on that, I've climbed back up to, I forget what I did last PR, but not 285, but
I love
it was
though.
2 something.
You've done it and you've accomplished it, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So for everybody who's watching and who's listening in on this episode, give us the story of Annie before B.O.B came into your life. So take me back to high school days in athletics. Give me the rundown of high school through college and where you are now.
Yeah. So I played field hockey.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to high school or college? Both?
High school.
Okay.
Yeah, high school, yeah.
So I went to Downtown East High School. I played high school field hockey all 4 years, and then I went to Temple University and I played club for 2.5 years. And then, student teaching and all that kind of stuff kind of got in the way. But yeah, always been an athlete kind of, and very competitive. So yeah.
Very competitive.
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
Oh yeah, I'm very competitive.
Tell me about one of the more competitive spirits of you coming out. Give me a time. Share a time.
I think it's more I'm competitive with myself, and for when I'm here working out, I see someone else across the gym lifting something, I'm like, I could probably try that. And so I just kind of go for it, right? And then if we're doing sled pushes or something, I'm always all right, you want to race? And so that kind of, and I think it's also good camaraderie with other people. They're I guess, and I'm no, we're gonna race. Whoever wins, it's funny. But yeah.
I love it. So take me to that time. So in field hockey was your sport, your go-to all through high school, and then even into college until student teaching kind of got in the way and threw the curveball there. But for you, give me what was one of your most fondest memories of that time?
Oh my gosh.
Or most exciting?
I guess it would probably be any time we made it to postseason in high school. So making it to district playoffs, state playoffs, has always been a great experience, whether you win or lose, whether you play or not. You know, I sat left bench a long time, but that was because someone, you know, like a grade above me played the same position as me. So you just kind of, everyone plays a role on a team. So you just kind of are, you have to know who you are and like what your role is. And my role was to cheer on my teammates and challenge them at practice, during warm-ups, all that kind of stuff. Until it was, you know, my turn to play. And then unfortunately, I got a concussion during my senior night game. Well, it's actually during warm-ups.
You got a concussion during warm-ups of your senior night game.
Yeah.
What happened?
We were like passing the ball, and we passed in like a square type thing, and we passed diagonal, so it was like a longer pass. And it was not my turn to pass. It was like two people on both diagonals. And so I was just like standing there waiting for the other person to pass. I don't know what happened. It popped up somehow, hit me right in the middle of my forehead.
Get out.
Yeah.
So then what happened?
So then I like started crying instantly, which I don't do. And everyone was like, they just like dropped
She
their
makes
jaw.
tears.
Yeah,
Whoa.
literally. Like they're like, Annie is upset. And then I sat down, and then my athletic trainer came over to me and was like, "What is your problem?" And I was like, "I just got hit in my head." And fun fact, I was also supposed to sing the national anthem. I did, don't worry. So my test was to remember the words to the national anthem.
Wow.
So I did remember the words. I'm actually dyslexic. So they were giving me this test to see like if I had a concussion like right away. And you had to like remember the words, say them backwards, all this kind of stuff. And my mom comes over and was like, she's not gonna be able to do that. But I actually did do it. So yay to, I don't know, overcoming that. But
Hey.
so then they're like, okay, if you know the words to the national anthem, you can still sing it, and then you can play if you feel fine. I was like, okay. Knew all the words, sang the national anthem with my best friend's sister. And then I played in the game, played most of that game, and we won, you know, good green, whatever. I'm like walking off the field, and I was like, I'm going to throw up. And my athletic trainer was like, yeah, no, you need to go to the doctor tomorrow morning. It's like, great.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. So she was talking about something, I don't really know all the terms, but like delayed concussion is like a thing. And so she was like, it probably was, you played a lot, and now you're just kind of, now it just rattled one more time, and it really got you.
Wow. Okay, so the ball hit you square in the forehead
Yes.
of your senior night game.
Yes.
You not only went on to play the game, but you sang the national anthem.
I did.
In front of a crowd
Yes.
spectrum of I'm sure hundreds
Yeah.
of people,
Mhm.
because it's a senior night
Mhm.
game. You remembered all the words, which is already impressive as it is.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know all the words, and like I'm guilty. It's ashamed to say that, but then you went on and played the whole
Yeah.
game, and then so did you end up throwing?
No.
Oh, thank
I
God.
just
Okay,
like
well, that's
sat
good.
down and was like,
Oh,
get it together. Because then we also
Wow.
had like a little like banquet afterwards. So I had to go sit through this wasn't stupid, it was very nice. Hold on. But and so I had like the biggest headache. I was just like sitting there like this. Ugh, I can't sit here any longer. And you know, they did like a slideshow, it was cute, whatever, but I was just like out of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did your team all know this?
Yeah.
How you're
Oh,
like, right at this time?
absolutely.
Were you getting like things thrown at your face? Like, oh, let's see if it's thrown in Andy's mouth while she's like leaning back.
No, I was just, you know, they just kind of like let me be. And then, of course, all my pictures, I have a big old bump on my forehead.
Get out. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Annie, that's crazy. Well, you survived and you won the game?
Yeah.
Wow. High
Yeah.
five. Nice
course.
job. Nice job. So what position did you play?
I played defense. Yeah.
Defense.
So I had a lot of balls like hit towards me, but I've never had one hit on my head. And then my own teammate did it. So
So what do we do now? Like, what do field hockey players do now with like to prevent that from happening? Like, hitting your head?
well, okay. Well, we used to play with goggles. We don't do that anymore, but there's no point because it just covers your eye. Like, it's not like it was covering like your head or anything. But if you're playing do you know field hockey, kind of corners, you know what a corner is?
Sure.
So it's like a penalty corner when the other team has possession of the ball and the defensive team, so like I would be in the penalty corner with my 3 other teammates or whatever, and the goalie. And so we start in the cage or like outside the cage. The other team gets a chance to like insert the ball and then like shoot basically. Nowadays they wear like a whole face mask that runs like from here to here. When
Mm-hmm.
I was playing, we only wore them in indoor because indoor is a lot faster and you're allowed to lift the ball in the air.
Oh,
But
wow. Did you know that I played field hockey and the
mhm.
only sport? So I played field hockey in college. So I went to Millersville, and I'm going to keep it a short version. I played intramural sports all 4 years. Played basketball, played flag football. I tried badminton. I tried it all. And I finally got to my senior year, and there's a spring session of field hockey being offered, and it was only women, like only girls were playing, and it was the last chance for me to win a shirt. There was like these coveted shirts that like you could only get if you won like the
Yeah.
championship for whatever sport you're playing. I never won in all the years, so I was like, you know what, I'm playing field hockey. And I petitioned it. I'm like, there's nothing in the rules that says men can't play. It's just targeted to women. So I found all of the ex like field hockey players from like high school and college, made a dynamite bomb team of all these ex players, and then I played and we won the
Oh,
championship.
absolutely. It's all
You
about the
better believe
shirt.
it. It's all about the
It's all about
shirt,
the
right?
shirt.
It's all about the shirt.
Yes.
Yeah. So well, and I still have that shirt, by the way. Still have that shirt.
As you should.
I've worn it like twice because I'm so proud of it. I almost want to frame it because I love that shirt.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that shirt. Shout out to Millersville Campus Rec. Love them. But in terms of shirts, so give me what shirt do you have? What shirt do you have?
100 better.
Yeah, buddy. And I know you're well on your way to that 250.
I don't know, maybe.
You are. You're on because we were checked in. You're consistent. So right now, so currently, let's move on from the high school. We've gone some college. We played club, and then we got into student teaching. And so in club and stuff, are there any fun stories for me from club?
Mm. We went to like nationals, which was fun. We didn't win,
But you got to go.
but we got to go. Yes,
You got the experience.
yes,
That's
it was
cool.
fun. A little trip to Virginia, and we all, a bunch of college kids in a hotel room. It was fun. Yeah, very low key, and I'm a big advocate for club nowadays, because you kind of get to pick and choose what you do, and if you had a night class or whatever, because we always practice at night because that's when the field was available, like you just didn't go. Like it's not a big deal.
Wait, didn't go to class?
No, you didn't go to practice.
Oh.
I mean, sometimes you might have to sleep through a class, but you do what you gotta do.
So this as a teacher.
No, you go to class, but so it's very low key and just for fun, really. It was people who same realm as me, like just didn't want to play that much and like give all their life to a sport. So yeah.
Well, it's cool. I mean, I agree. Clubs was that level of which I knew I wanted to play, but intramurals was what best suited me because
Right.
at that time I was like, I'm paying for college myself. I need to work and
Yeah.
I need to and I happened to actually work in campus rec. And so I was the one who was like I was reffing the games when I was like younger, like a freshman, and I got into like this like more of a management role, and then I was like a supervisor when I was like supervising all the managers and all the referees
Yeah.
and stuff. And so I mean I learned a lot in that whole thing, but when I look back, there's just I don't want to say regret. That's definitely too heavy of a word there. But there's whatever the word would be before that.
Yeah.
That's the feeling I have about athletics in college, and that I there was like, oh man, it would have been so great to have had that opportunity.
Yeah,
to
like a little
fulfill that.
remorse type thing.
Yeah, a little bit. But looking back, that's like it for my life
Yeah.
of like looking back of what I
Wish
wish I
yeah.
could have had an opportunity for, you know?
Yeah.
I guess I could still go back to school and like go into and be an athlete, you know, in like my mid 30s. No big
I
deal.
mean, I don't really know how the NCAA would agree with that, but sure, you could try.
I mean, I look like I could still be like in my like early 20s, right? Right?
Yeah.
Right? Thank you. I do. That's great. If I just take care of all the gray,
Yeah.
right? And don't let everyone know I have children
Yeah.
and something.
Yeah, you're fine.
all that fun stuff
It'll
that
work.
dates me. But so I'm jumping all around, but your journey that has gotten you to not only the 100 better club, but on the way to 250 and on the way to 500 and all the and 1126, I think the key takeaway for you, Annie, is the consistency.
Yeah.
And that's at least from my perspective, knowing and seeing you in here. Like today, when I'm finishing my own training session, there you come strolling in at the 9 o'clock, which is nice because you're a teacher now. You can do it for the
I
summer.
get
Like
to
it's so
sleep
nice.
in.
Yeah. Sleep in,
Yeah.
recover, feel good, still get the day in, still get the
Yeah.
training session in.
Yeah.
That's good. So give me some more. So tell me some big things for you. Some big takeaways, big wins for right now for you in your life right now currently.
Yeah, and I think you kind of nailed it with consistency. You know, not only showing up for myself, but showing up for others, right? You like go and look on Zen Planner, you're like, oh, Noelle's gonna be there. I gotta go.
Yeah.
And I think the hardest part was when I did transition to my new job was changing my times, which was very frustrating because I used to come at 5:30 before work, and I was like, get it in, get it out, done. But then when I moved to high school, school started earlier, so I got to work at like 6:30. And so I needed to come to the gym in the afternoon, which is very difficult for me because I just want to like go home and take a nap.
but you're real and you did it.
Yes, I did do it. It was hard, but it was just, I don't know. I'd rather just go home and sleep and be done, like get out, get all your stuff done, and then get home and you're just done. You don't have to do anything else. Then I would get home and I'm like, oh, I gotta go to the gym.
But you still made it
I
in.
still did. And,
Still did.
every time I come in, I walk in, everyone's like, I'm like, hi. But, like once I get through the warm up, I'm like, all right, it's good to be here, But being able to be consistent, not only in my job, obviously like 5 days a week, can't change that. Got to go to school.
Yeah.
But coming here, I had the decision to either I could go or I could just maybe not. I could just skip today, but like overcoming that power in my own brain, like just go. It's not that difficult.
So what's that conversation? Tell me what it's like.
It's more of a what else are you gonna do, right? Are you just gonna sit here on the couch and watch probably New Girl? Because that's the best show.
Oh, I love New Girl.
Girl's so good. Anyways,
Yes.
Or am I gonna go to the gym, work out, get a good sweat in, come home, shower, then watch New Girl? So it's just like a couple less hours of New Girl. And I always am like, oh, look what's going on with so and so. Like if I haven't seen them in a while, if I'm going in the afternoon, I have to go deal with Alysha, or Molly. Yeah. Molly's a little bit better. Alysha's mean sometimes. I'm just kidding. But yeah, and I think it was fun to switch it up too. Like I like Nick, but it was fun switching it up. Different type of people in the morning, different type of people in the afternoon.
Absolutely.
And so I just they get my presence in both sometimes.
That's right. They get to see Annie grace us with your presence. I love it. And that's good. I mean, but you hit on a couple of really great points there. And the fact that you have everyone goes through that like mental challenge of like, I know I should go to the gym, or I know I need to get my workout in. I know I need to do something that's going to improve my life in some way, health, nutrition, recovery, sleep, all stretching, right? All those little things. But you look at the opportunity and you weigh them out. You say, I could stay home and just watch New Girl and that's it. Or I could go to the gym, see the people who matter to me. I could improve my mobility for that day. I could improve my strength. I could just get a good stress relieving workout in and then come home and watch New Girl and still be able to, and shower and feel rejuvenated and feel good about it. And so when you weigh the things out like that in that way, Annie, I think it's a big takeaway for a lot of people who want to step into the gym, who want to change their lives, but they're not weighing the right things. They're looking at it from missing out on, I'm not gonna be able to watch New Girl, right? In this example. Well, yeah, you still can. Maybe just 1 hour less, right? Like that, and that's it. And it'll still be there. One last episode. Like it'll still be there when you get back. And I love that you've you're real with it. And that's what we need. That's why I love having these shows, because we can talk about the real mental, physical, emotional, psychological, all the different things that challenge people to make the decisions to change your lives, to make things better.
Exactly.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Yes. So give me a sec. While you're hanging out with us, hey, if you hadn't already done so, click the subscribe button. If you're on YouTube, If you listen on any podcast platform, when it's safe, click the subscribe button and then give it a 5-star, because why not? Annie's awesome. And you love hearing from all the amazing stories here at Bent on Better and getting inspired by these stories of people who are just like you and I. But for now, leave that rating, leave a review, all the good things, and then comment below. Do you like New Girl? I want to know. And what if you do? Who's your favorite character? Who's your favorite character, Annie?
Oh, Nick.
Nick?
Can't go
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nick
Nick's
is
probably my favorite.
I like it. And I like how the characters have like evolved through the
Yes.
seasons.
Yes.
Like they all grow, and oh my gosh, like even I mean everyone individually, but I think Nick probably grew on me the most
Yes.
because he his evolution of his
yeah.
character. And I like that they brought I don't want to ruin people who haven't watched it yet, but like I like that they brought like had Coach
Yes.
and then left and then came back.
Yeah.
And, like, reintegrated him into the whole thing. It was great. It was really well done.
Yes. It's a great
really
show.
great show.
It's a great show.
I
I mean,
had
and I
just seen
love
it.
Friends too. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, Friends is a great show.
Friends is
I've
great.
watched both. I'm just
Yes.
now in a New Girl phase right now.
Yeah, it's good. You can go in cycles.
Rewatching it, you know?
And that's great. And that's like, man, that's the best thing is when you can find things that make you feel a certain way, like in a positive way, right?
Yeah.
You know you can rely on those things to continue to fall back onto when things don't go well, maybe, or when you're stressed, or when you don't want to worry about following a storyline. You can know that you can depend on things like New Girl or like Friends,
Exactly.
right? They're like your friends who you know, but yet don't, and they're fake.
I don't
but
know.
they're
You're
real.
fake friends, but
Like
like
if you
not
talk,
fake.
if you talk to Lynn, if you talk to Lynn about Friends, she absolutely will say that each one of those people are real people in her life because she loves Friends that much.
I think that's a little over the top, but
We will
okay.
refer to them. We will refer to them as like, it's like, yeah, and like when Monica said blah 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 blah, and Ross was like, ha, we will have those conversations. That's our
I
life.
don't think I go that far, but I
okay.
understand. I understand that.
Well, thank you for understanding.
course.
It's good. I'm glad you
That's what
can
I
at least
do.
relate.
I have to.
Relate, understand. That's good.
That's all I do is
So-
relate.
So Annie, give me an idea of where you are now with your journey, and where do you want to go? Let's say a year from now. Like, what are the big goals you're working on right now? What are the big things that you're working through or working on, and that you want to do?
Oh my gosh, a year from now. That's a long time.
It's a long time.
It's 365 days. Ooh. I think the biggest thing is circling back to like believing in myself, right? And overcoming my own mind battles of I can't do this. Because I do say a lot in the gym. I'm like, this is too heavy. I can't do that.
And then you do
and
it.
then I do
I've
it.
seen you. We had the conversation. Actually, I think the intro to this season is literally the wrap up of me saying to you, you can do this. If you had just said
Probably.
you can't. And I'm like, literally, if you watch the intro, watch it. You're going to see there's a
Gonna
little
have to
interaction.
now.
And you're going to think back to it. You're going to be like, that's right.
Yeah.
He did.
Was I doing
say
rows or
lift
something?
weights. I think it was probably
Yeah.
rows or deadlift. Something
hate
where like
rows,
you're mega
though.
strong. But you're so strong, Annie. You
Yeah.
are so strong. And you have so much hidden potential in you that we see as coaches,
Yeah.
and you're starting to see for yourself, and I think you're starting to believe it. But like, man, you are so strong. And if you just continue to take care of yourself in the way you are right now with like the stretching for like the lower back, when those things come up, it's going to continue to compound in ways that are beautiful, that are going to show you the real potential what you have. So goals. Big goals.
Goals is such a hard thing. Anyways, I think the biggest thing is for me is to keep my consistency. I tend to start to drop off after a little bit. You know, I used to go through phases of going to a very annoying gym. I'm not going to say the name. And, you know, it's just like, you know, you have your machines all over the place, whatever. And I would go for a long time, a good stint of time. And then I'm just like, oh, it's kind of boring. You know, and you just kind of do the same thing every time because you don't want to like go to a different section of the gym, or there's a lot of people one day and you're like, I'm just gonna stick to the elliptical or something like that. And staying with, you know, what I do now is like 3 days a week, and seeing where that takes me, and being patient with myself. Like you were saying, you know, I don't stretch, which is a problem, but I think I start to notice the way I'm, you know, for example, like today, my deadlift was good, and I felt good doing it, and like afterwards, yes, my legs hurt really bad. You can ask everyone. I was a hot mess, but
You're a hot
I
mess.
was just
What
like,
so what
I was
happened?
like, I can't do this anymore. But
Uh,
I was just walking around with like jello legs. That's like
okay.
the only way to describe it.
Jello legs, the baby
Yes.
giraffe.
Yes. It's heavy.
Yeah.
You know that dead stop? No, that's not
Yeah.
the.
They're beautiful though.
Oh.
They're so good.
Yeah, they're so
Eh?
fun. I forgot what I was gonna say.
But your mental and the fact that
Hmm.
you're staying consistent and the 3 days a
Yes.
week.
And I think, currently right now I don't at this date in time, I don't know what I'm teaching next year, where I'm going, because I was a long-term sub.
Mm.
So, looking for my forever home in the teaching world, I think will also help me, in my own personal world too, and not stressing about what I'm gonna do next year, where I'm gonna be. I don't think I told you, but I'm now coaching field hockey.
Wow.
Uh,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Where are you
So
coaching?
I'm coaching actually at my high school rival at Downtown West.
Whoa. All right,
Yes.
we'll bleep that out. All right.
And so I'm the new JV coach, and we have a new head coach, and then the assistant stayed. So thank
Congratulations.
you.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So I think
Awesome.
the biggest thing is growing in, my coaching world, and being the best version of myself so I can be the best version for them.
Mm.
And, giving them tidbits that I know, and, taking care of my body, stretching and all that kind of stretching, which I don't do, but gotta lead
But you're
by
doing it.
example.
That's right. That's right. Lead by example.
And so, fostering that into my athletes, and, moving forward with them in their own health and mental health and physical health. Yeah.
That's so good. I mean, it's great because you're aligning the goals with your current state and what you want to do and how you want to apply it. And that's how we make actionable steps so people can so you actually can see goals accomplished for you. So prioritizing your stretching will allow for you to recover, which will avoid the pain, the back pain that happens from time to time for you. Right? We want to make sure that we're taking care of that. So in that situation, so tell me, like, what happened with you mentioned earlier, like the back pain that for the past couple of months has been kind of
Yeah.
creeping up on you.
Yeah. I think the biggest problem is probably like my hamstrings are not the strongest yet, and my glutes aren't the strongest yet. So they're all kind of tied together, is what I've learned.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is like my hip flexors. I'm not very limble, I guess. I don't know what's the word, but so making sure that I'm stretching those and strengthening those as much as possible. So that's been a kind of annoying because it's not painful, it's just there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I can still do everything. It doesn't hurt while I'm doing it. It's just like afterwards it's very stiff, I guess you could say. I don't really know.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a weird thing. So
So what are you doing to change it?
stretching,
Stretching?
unfortunately.
Wow.
Stretching, and then like last month I was doing like really slow like deadlifts, really slow squats, just working on my tempo and my form. And it's doing those are not fun either, by the way. And decreasing the weight, right? So
Yeah.
we want to work on our form, and making sure that my back isn't bothering me while I'm doing those things, because it normally doesn't, but you never know. um, and just making sure that I have all of the correct steps for whenever I'm doing any sort of lift.
Yeah. And you will live by example because you've gone through it and now you can address it when it comes up with your athletes and the kids you're going to coach, because you're going to lead through example and you have now documented proof that you're going to do it. So this is wonderful, Annie.
Yeah.
This is super great for
Yeah.
you. So give me an idea. Again, we're going to kind of come to a conclusion here. What would you say to the person, or maybe to yourself, at a place where maybe you're going through the motions of another gym and you are maybe dealing with some back pain that's not super like bad where it's like debilitating, but it's gotten enough that it's annoying and it's happening? What would you say to the person who is in that situation right now?
I would say, first of all, you probably need to leave your gym. And find, obviously come join the squad at Benton Better, but find what's going to work for you, right? Luckily, my sister found this place before me, and, you know, I just one day was like, I'm going to go try it. And, you know, it was probably the best decision I've ever made so far in my adult life. And besides buying my car, hold on,
which is a
cool
nice
car.
whip. You got a nice car.
I do. It's a Jeep Wrangler, if anyone was wondering.
It's a beautiful.
It's a 4xe.
Clean.
It's electric.
Nice.
Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah,
know
it's
that.
partially electric.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyways, that's better, and the car. You know, also reflect, right? We also are human beings, and sometimes you need to take a step back and think about what's going on in your life. Is going to the gym actually something you enjoy? Because if you're not enjoying it, you're not going to see results, at least in my opinion. And, you know, what it would be sustainable for long term. You know, working out 3 times a week is, you know, the most I can do, right? Obviously now with coaching and, you know, my schedule with teaching and all that kind of stuff, that's feasible and doable. And even though sometimes I don't want to go, pushing yourself and pushing those boundaries of, you know, getting past your mental block of I don't want to, I can't. It's not going to be fun, because it probably will be. You make it fun if it's not fun. And, you know, don't give up on yourself. Sometimes you need to go through that little slump or anything like that to get out on, you know, the other side, the brighter side. You know, some people say the grass isn't always greener on the other side, but it is a different shade of green. And sometimes you just need to find a different shade.
Ooh, I like that one. Sometimes you just need to find a different shade.
Yes.
Wow, I like that, Annie. That's solid.
Thank you. Mic drop.
Nice job. That was great. No, that was so great. You know, I think this is a really great way to wrap it up, because you're right. In a moment where you're going through fitness and you're going through the motions, if you feel like you're bored with it, if you're not seeing kind of changes or progress or results you want to see, then it is time to change it up. And you're right. It's not necessarily always going to be greener on the other side, but it's a different shade. And you might find that that different shade fits you better, fits your lifestyle better, fits your habits better, fits your needs, your wants, your desires, your goals better. And that's what it comes down to. It's not that anything is greener or not as green. It's just different shades. Yeah,
I know.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
You know, teaching the younger generation. That's me.
Solid, Annie. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap things up?
I don't think so. What is it? Like, subscribe, follow.
Ooh.
Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. Click all the things.
Got it. Nailed it. Click all the things, because Annie said so.
I
all
know.
Right. And then comment below if you're watching on YouTube, because why not? Tell us again your favorite new girl character, or what shade of green or color that you prefer the most. That'd be great. But how about for now, we're gonna wrap it up and say thanks for hanging out with us on the Better Fitness Proof podcast. We'll see you again next time.
Bye.
Bye.